Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. In case you don't know me, I'm Iris from Iris Impressions Art. I am a mixed media artist and art journaler, and I love art supplies. I hope I'm not alone. I mean, I know I'm not alone in saying that. I made a little order from Jackson's, who are my favorite company to buy from online when it comes to art supplies, obviously, because that's what we're talking about. And I wanted to show you all the goodies that I got. So this started because I needed some white paint. I had run out of white paint. This is a well-loved empty bottle and I needed to order some white paint. So obviously what happens when you need to buy one boring thing is you buy lots of other things to make up the amount for free postage. So that's what I did, and it led to this very exciting box of new supplies. I've already gone through them and unwrapped some things so that I can, not spend this video going like, oh, how do I get the tape off? But I just want to say, first of all, that Jackson's, when you order from them, and this is not sponsored, pay my own money for them, they're really good at wrapping stuff up and dispatching it in a very safe for posting way, and I really appreciate that because buying stuff that is not necessarily cheap. There's things that are like liquid, things that are breakable, so the fact that they wrap things with bubble wrap and taped and all that kind of stuff is really good. Let's have a sip of tea, chamomile tea. All right, let's get into this. Oh, I did add this little thing. I didn't order this from Jackson's, I ordered this from Amazon, a little tape roller, because I have been doing some planner journaling in my Hobonichi, and I have started a kind of scrapbook, not a scrapbook in what it usually means, but lots of gluing, and I hate glue sticks, so I got this. Anyway, let me just grab these things out of the box and then we will get into it. So as I said, the reason for this order was my titanium white heavy body acrylic. I go through one of these probably once a year, so I just keep having to buy it. I love this white paint. It's my favorite. It's really high quality, artist grade, and it comes in this big bottle and it's fairly affordable. I think this was about £14. So yeah, I like that. That's my staple item. Then let's see, when you place an order from Jackson's, you can order certain samples, and they're like small little things of different types. So I ordered some of this Yupo paper in these really tiny cute little pads, and I thought it would be really awesome both to just try out this paper, for it to be small, not so precious, and to make just some fun mini paintings. So Yupo paper, if you're not familiar with it, it's like a synthetic paper, and so it's completely non-absorbent. It's almost like, yeah, it's like a plasticky, it feels like paper, but it's more like plasticky, so you can really push the paint around on it. And apparently it also works really well with alcohol inks. They are not a supply I use, but I'm going to be using just my regular acrylics and stuff on this, so I'm looking forward to getting into that. I got the medium one and I got the heavy one. Then I also got a bunch of canvas samples because I have been thinking of maybe buying a big roll of canvas. This will have to wait until I have a bigger art space, but in any case I wanted to try out some of the different grains and see what I like. So you can try things primed and unprimed, and yeah, you get just a little 10 by 15 centimeter cut off of the things that they sell, and they're clearly labeled, so I'm gonna just have a go at seeing how I like those. So that's quite exciting. Let's break into one of these. I took the opportunity when placing this order to get some things to try out. So most of the things that you see here are things that I want to try, things that I've never used before, things that I've heard good things about, and just want to see what the fuss is about. So I got myself my very first Neo Pastel crayons. I got myself a granite rose and a white. I also wanted to get a red, but they were literally all sold out of any of the red colors that I liked. So I went for these, heard good things about them, just want to try them out and see if I like them. I have other oil pastels, but more like student grade. So these will be my first foray into kind of artist grade oil pastels, with the exception of the Sennelier, and those are very kind of creamy, whereas I think these are a bit more dry. So I'm very interested in seeing how these work out. These are the Liquitex acrylic ink in the muted range. I got the muted pink, the muted turquoise, and the muted grey. And I also have to say thanks to Dread Pirate Brie for talking me through and basically singing the praises of these inks and giving me a little bit of advice on which colours were worth getting. So the grey, which is kind of like a bluish grey, it looks like. And when I've seen it swatched, it's almost kind of a purpley grey. The turquoise and the pink, I really look forward to trying these out and kind of adding them to the top of art journal pages. I think that will look really cool. So I'm very excited about those. I mean, I am going to keep saying that I'm very excited about stuff because I am excited about all of it because it's all art supplies. Okay, here's a little box of experimentation. So these paints, the golden matte acrylics So Flat. These are fairly new. I have heard some people talk about them and I just really wanted to try them out. When I asked on my Instagram stories to either talk me into or talk me out of buying this, so many people contacted me and it was about a 50-50 spread of people saying like, yeah, meh, and the other 50% were like, oh my god, they're the most amazing, they're my favorite paints. So I thought I need to try this out for myself. And so I got the Payne's Grey, which Anne Clyde recommended to me as her favorite color. So, and I'm a big fan of Payne's Grey as well. So that's the one that I went for. Then Marcia Volk got me onto these paints, which are the Flash Emulsion Vinyl paints. They're kind of like matte acrylics, except they're not acrylic, they're vinyl. So interested to try this out. The color I went for, this is a little bit different from what it looked like on the swatch on the screen. The screen swatch looked a bit more pink than this. I didn't really want this color, to be honest, because I already have Liquitex Heavy Body in Parchment, which I use a lot, and this looks fairly slightly more rosy, slightly more kind of on the reddish side. But yeah, I don't know about the color, but I'll be interested in looking at what this works, how this works. And it's a pretty good amount of paint for the money, so that's pretty awesome. I mean, because these are, it's tiny and they are mega expensive, especially the higher series numbers. I actually was looking at a few of the other colors like the turquoise or like the cadmium red, but they were just more than twice the price of the series 1 and series 2. So that's why I went for the Payne's Grey as well. Oh, this I am super excited about. It is, what is it called? It's called a Dripstick squeeze applicator. So this is by Molotov, who do paint pens, and this is basically a bottle, like a squeezy bottle with a soft, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like toddler art supplies, to be honest. And you can fill this up with like ink or like diluted paint. I'm probably going to put in some paint diluted with airbrush medium, and then you can, you know, squeeze and write with it. So I'm very excited about trying one of these. I got one just to try it out, and then if I get on with it, I will get more. These are fairly affordable. They're like £2.50, something like that, or about £3. Then I saw these. I think these are new. I haven't seen these before. They are double-sided Molotov paint markers. And so one side is 1.5mm and the other side is 4mm. So that's pretty cool because I do really love my Molotov markers, and I tend to get a new one, like 1 or 2 new ones every time I place an order or every time I go to the art supply shop, just to kind of add to my colors, because they are pretty pricey. But if you just get 1 or 2, you can kind of expand your collection over time without breaking the bank, and I have found that they last really well. The only thing that doesn't always last is the tips, but you can replace them, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I was like trying to choose between the 4mm and the 1.5mm because those are the ones that I use most. And then I saw that they had these dual tipped ones, so that is perfect. So I took the opportunity to get this blue one. They don't come in loads of colors, I have to say. Like, I think they come in about 12 or 14 colors. So I got a blue one because I don't have that one yet. And I got a black one because I don't actually have enough black markers in enough widths. So yeah, I'm excited to try these. This little exciting box is a box of little ceramic paint palettes. Is that what you call them? Paint palettes? Paint mixing surfaces. So you can, I think you can use them on either way, like the shallow side or the deeper side. This is just something that I don't really have a use for, but I have always wanted. So it was in my wish list for forever. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna get them and I'm going to find a use for them. Either, you know, that they will work really well with these nice acrylic inks that I got. So that is exciting. Now, let's move on. Actually, let's take a sip of tea. Very important. This was something that I have wanted to get for a long time as well. And every time I went to physical art supply shops, they didn't have them. And then I saw that I could order this. So I got this, which is the Daniel Smith watercolor dot chart. So these dots are the actual watercolors and you can try them out and see what they actually look like. And that's really helpful because this chart is fairly affordable. I think it cost me about £9, between £9 and £10. And as you might know, the Daniel Smith watercolors, they come in little tubes. They are insanely expensive. So when you are buying one, you really don't want to go on spec. You really want to know whether you like the color and how it kind of dilutes and what it looks like. So that's why I got this, and I'm very excited to start having a look at what I like. These interference colors, they look very cool straight off the bat. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this and swatching this and having a look. This one looks good too, the lavender, very opaque. Awesome. And then the final thing that I got is this Stillman Burn soft cover Alpha Series sketchbook. I know you're saying to me right now, Iris, you said you were not allowed to buy any more sketchbooks. And yes, you are right. I am not allowed to buy any more sketchbooks because I have way too many sketchbooks and art journals on the go. However, this is for a specific project. So over Christmas, I got this book, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. And I am really committed to spending time once a week on practicing and putting into practice the things that I am reading in this book. So I wanted a nice place to do that, so like a motivating place. And actually, I put something else in my basket. First of all, I put a ring-bound 11 by 14 inch spiral ring-bound pad in my basket, and it got sold out during the time in which I was deciding what else to put in my basket. So that was very frustrating. And also the book recommends that you use inch papers with a certain a certain ratio. And these are much harder to get in the UK because a lot of the sketchbooks that you get here are based on A system. So you would get an A4 or an A5 sketchbook and not necessarily 8 by 10 or 11 by 14. So the options were very limited, and then there was a lot of stuff sold out. So this was pretty much the only option in terms of the 8 by 10 size that I could get. That was kind of sketchbook paper because I'm going to be sketching. I'm not going to be putting heavy mixed media in this. So I wanted something that was fairly like thin and fairly smooth and not like watercolor paper. So I am very excited to be working in this sketchbook, and I'm actually, in a way, I'm glad that the other one was sold out because I realize now that it would have been huge because it was 11 by 14, and I am like a metric system girl, and I do not know what inches are when you tell me. Like, I'd have to like translate them in my head and go like, oh, that means it's this big and whatever. So I didn't realize how big the other one would have been, and this already feels pretty big to be working in for doing portraits and stuff. So I think I'm going to be very comfortable in this. and it's just so nice with the soft cover, and I look forward to that a lot. So there we are. That was my little art supply haul. I'm very excited to be trying all these things out. It just feels like a little playground where I can experiment and see what I like and see how I can use it. I am going to probably do a little video next where I will swatch some of these supplies and tell you what I think about them. Yeah, you will probably see these things coming up in my art and my videos. And also, the working on the drawing on the right side of the brain in this sketchbook is something that I'm hoping to turn into a little YouTube series for you all, so keep a lookout for that. If you are not subscribed, then please subscribe to my channel so you will be notified of the videos that are coming up. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to learn more from me, you can find me over on Patreon, where I make other art videos and vlogs and just, you know, create lots more content. Wishing you all a happy new year. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!